Welcome to the channel, everybody. Level M Diecast. Greenlight on tap today. Dually Drivers Series number 14. The latest Series 2 drop from Greenlight for Dually Drivers. This one doesn't have any new castings or nothing in it, so don't get too excited. But all brand new decos. I did crack a full case of these on a haul video. One of these I happened to get a green machine, which is this guy right here. We are going to crack him open as I promised that I would do in the previous video. We're going to kick it off with this one, 2019 Ford F-350 Dually. This is for Fort Worth Police Department Mounted Patrol. Nothing fancy on the back. It's all the same card details and everything like that from the previous Dually Drivers. So we'll get our trusty old scissors here, and we'll just get to work with this one real quick. Get him out of the clamshell. Pull the thing out here. We'll get the plastic out of here. Pull our truck out. I'm a little bit gentle with these. They do have mirrors off the side. So Fort Worth Police on there. Looks pretty good. Of course, this should be licensed off of an actual unit. So we should get some pretty good deets on this. I do like the black grille. Got your Ford symbol right there on the grille. It looks good. Prints look good. Headlights look good. Lensed headlights. That looks really good, actually. Like that. Super Duty across the hood there. That is a pretty good detail as well. Mirrors look pretty good. They're probably tilted up a little bit higher than they should be, but they're even with each other, and sometimes that's a little bit more important. This one is Mounted Patrol, unit number 237, dedicated to protect. It says in the back, you got a shield on there. Just some gray steelies. I do like that. Of course, it's, work truck, base model. Details in the back, no plate or nothing on this one, so that's unfortunate. I thought for sure we'd have a plate on there, being that this should be modeled after an exact model from the Fort Worth Police Department, but that's okay. Take a look at this side. It's all the same deets, nothing fancy, and then a little bit of print on there for the marker lights on the dually bed sides there. This one does come with a tow hitch, just in gray. It is plastic, so it's unfortunate. They used to be metal, way back in the day. Model 2277 is the number on the base of this one. It looks okay, made in China. This is one of the kind of oddballs in the Dually Drivers. This one is not designed to have a different bed on the back. It's just the exact same bed as the one on the front. So that one looks pretty good. All right, moving on to our next model here. We're going to pull out our C30. Yes, they're still doing the C30. This one has been around for quite some time for Dually Drivers. Maybe even since the beginning, I believe. This one in Hearst. So nice brand new deco for this one, 1972 C30 wrecker. We'll see what kind of details are on this one. Some of them have additional prints like on the push bar on the front. Some of them don't. But we'll see if this guy gets a little bit extra love as far as tampo prints go. We'll slide him out of there. Throw the clamshell. Get that off of the studio. Pull our C30 itself out. There we go. There is the Hearst C30. This one looks good. It does a custom 30 on there. Custom /30, which is pretty cool. Look at the super fine details there on the front, underneath the side marker light. Chrome dualies on there. This tire is a little bit off. Just a little bit. Now it's a lot off. Let's see here. Get that fixed a little bit. Up a little bit. There we go. A little bit of extra flashing on there for the tire, but that will go down over time. Not a big deal. This guy does have extra print on there. It does have matte black for the push bar on there. And then a little bit of silver print for all the bolts and rivet holes. That looks pretty good. Chevy symbol on the hood there, of course, in gold since it is Hearst. I like those details. Some pretty good prints on the apparatus back here. A little bit of silver down here. Some silver for the cabling and stuff like that. Looks good. Lights and stuff decoed up there looks good as well. Even some silver down in for the winches. That one looks pretty good too. Tail light prints on there as well. Of course, it is Dually since it is Dually Drivers. 4455 is the number for this one. Looks pretty good. Decos on the other side are the exact same. Nothing changed there. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I like that one. I don't think they use these particular Dually wheels on anything else other than just this C30, I believe. Which is a little bit of a bummer, because I think they're pretty good wheels. All right, moving on to our wrecker. This one is for Shell gas stations. The 2017 Chevrolet Silverado HD 3500. This one is super, super cool. It's a little bit weird that the back section's like not at least white. It almost looks like it was a service truck and then they put their own tow apparatus on the back of it. It doesn't look like it's a factory built vehicle. It's kind of an interesting look. At least that's just the kind of the way I look at it. But this is definitely one that I was definitely anticipating from this series, because at least in the pre-release photos, it looked pretty good. We'll get our clamshells out of here. Get our truck slid out. This guy does have gigantic side mirrors on there. The mirrors look pretty good. They're tilted down again just a little bit. But if you get really close up, you can see that the attachment is not all that great. As far as like where they glued them to the truck, it's not all that great. It's a little bit of a bummer. The back section is actually painted up. I thought it was just going to be kind of plain color, but it's a little bit of a gloss color. Looks pretty good. There is a little bit of print on here. These are for those wheel apparatuses that you would wrap around the wheel, so you'd lift up the other axle so you could tow it completely off the ground. Although it doesn't have the little wheel accessories anywhere on there, which is a bummer. But the rest of this looks pretty good. Not too crazy. The light bar on the top looks pretty good. There's no color or anything in it, but it's just clear. It tilts a little bit forward, so it didn't get glued on correctly. You got to deal with Greenlight quality. That's just the way it works. On the hood here, it does say Duramax, which is pretty nice. It's silver printed on white, so you got to get some glare in there to really see it, but it still looks pretty good. This guy does not have an opening hood. Looks like it does, but it doesn't. It's just so that they can swap out the hoods depending on trim levels and stuff like that. Details on the front look pretty good. Headlights look pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of them printing on the outside of the lens. I like the prints on the inside. You see that white print is actually on the outside of the lens. I've never been a fan of that. It looks a little bit weird. It's fine from far away, but when you get close up to it, it just looks super, super weird. So just not a fan of that. Details on the side here does say 3500 HD. Those nice Chevy wheels on there. These dualies on here have not been on anything else but a Chevy. So I think that's important. Looks pretty good. This is super, super loose. Just keeps dropping down. This doesn't raise up. It doesn't do anything. This is the only piece that actually moves. Typically, this has got some friction in it to keep it from falling, but this one has zero friction in it, which is unfortunate. Details on this side are the same. Just a little bit of shell deco on there. The back looks pretty good. Tail lights are done up pretty good. The details for the tow apparatus looks pretty good. Right to the end of the casting there, which is pretty accurate to a real setup. This one happens to be 2700 on the mark, which is pretty cool. I like that. Looks pretty nice. See, this goes all the way to the ground. It does hold something like a dually truck, but you can't lift it up or anything. It doesn't do anything. So if you wanted to just give it a little bit of a kind of a make it look cool sitting right there, you could do that. But it's a little bit. I mean, it's for show purposes. It's definitely for show purposes. All right, moving on to our next guy. Yes, that is this one. I did pull a greenie. That's just how it worked. I bought a inner pack, which had all 6 models. Happened to have a green machine in it. I don't collect green machines, but this happens to be the one I got. So this is the one we're going to open. 2020 Ram 3500 Laramie Dually. This one actually looks relatively well. You see there's a big scuff on the bed inside of there. So again, dealing with Greenlight quality. It's been a mixed bag recently. There's been some good stuff. I mean, overall, they've definitely been improving to where they were, maybe 6 months ago. But they're still mightily struggling quite a bit. And, that all has to do with where they're manufactured and what the stipulations are for the manufacturing there. So we'll get our Ram out of there. Try to be a little bit gentle with this guy, being that he is a green machine. This one looks pretty good, though. I like the white and silver two-tone. You see the bed is just a little bit off. Usually I try to see if I can bend that just a little bit because the bed is a separate piece. And then there is your scuff on the back. That's actually a, sorry about that. That's actually a scratch. It's actually a scratch. This one probably can be buffed out, but this other piece right here, that's actually in the paint. So it's pretty disappointing, especially with it being a green machine. So shame on you, Greenlight. That's it's a little bit ridiculous in my opinion. But the model itself, the deco design, again, not a huge fan of the white print on the outside of the lens. I think that should be on the inside of the lens. This one doesn't look as bad. This one looks, doable. At least the mirrors look good. The mirrors look pretty even. Although this one didn't get very much silver print on the back of it, as you can see. Man, I struggle mightily with Greenlight. This is the problem with buying them online. You get what you get, and you definitely going to throw a fit when they're not right. But I do like the overall design. I like the white and silver two-tone. Clearly, the non-green machine would have chrome wheels on it, which I think would look a good fit for that one. Does come with a trailer hitch. The taillights and stuff looks pretty good. So at least those are nice and straight. Those are nice and fancy. This one looks all right. It's pretty wide. I feel like the axle's a little bit wider than they normally are, and you can see why, because the axle was set a little bit big, but it actually goes pretty well. It actually fits in there pretty well. Wow, that tire is super messed up. Look at that tire. Tire is struggle bus. Oh, there we go. Fix that tire. So this base is metal, I think. Maybe it's still plastic. No, I think it's metal. So it looks like they moved to a metal base. They've been plastic, but it looks like they moved to a metal base. So that's a good sign. 247 is the number for this green machine right there. But really, really not good quality green machine here. This one is really, really not a good quality one at all. And this is one of the reasons why if you do get green machines, you should just keep them sealed. But just gives me a better reason to replace this one at some point in time. So a little bit actually not even a little bit disappointing. It's like extremely disappointing. Because this is one of the ones I think was going to be the best of the bunch. But clearly that's not going to happen. All right, moving on to our other Ram here in the mix. This one is the Service Direct Connection, the Mopar Direct Connection, the Service Bed Dually 2023. This one looks pretty good. I hope this one is in really good shape because I really like Mopar stuff. You guys know I'm a little bit of Mopar head here. So Mopar stuff is always super biased. But if they're terrible quality, they're terrible quality. But I hope that those ones are the ones that are not terrible quality. But I don't typically get that lucky with them. So I'll slide this guy out of there. Being gentle. Take a look at our mirrors first off and foremost. Mirrors look good. This is the kind of lower trim level Ram, so you just have your black grille, black bumpers, kind of your standard front end there, not the super luxurious Laramie edition. This one has a bunch of gunk on it, which is pretty typical for Greenlight. As you can see, it cleans up relatively well. Looks pretty good. Details on the side of this one. The bed looks pretty good. The bed looks a little bit crooked, but the prints look pretty good. Prints look like they match up pretty well. This one does have just some gray steelies on there, which is cool. Little details in the back. Mopar Dodge SRT on there. A little bit of print for all the door handles. Of course, he's rocking the Cummins inside there. Looks good. Tinted windows on the side, open on the front. Silver print for the top of the bed sides here for the diamond plating. The inside diamond plating is just body colored in white. Details on the back does sport a trailer hitch. Does have the Mopar, Dodge, and SRT on both sides in the back as well. Taillight print's done up. Looks pretty good. Nothing super fancy with this one. Details on the other side are the same. The blue is a little bit lighter on the bed than the cab, but that's okay. Yeah, you can see it's a little bit tweaked. You can see the little bit up in the center of the casting here. It's very, very interesting. So maybe they should have added a rivet spot right there. You can see you can bend it just a little bit. You bend it just a little bit. It looks much, much better. But unfortunately, that's just the way it is. This is a plastic base on this one. 4771 is the number. So numbers have been all over the place for this particular release, which is interesting because they all came from the same box. But that one's not bad. That one's not bad. Some of the flaws you guys see, they don't look quite as bad when you're a little bit further away. It's just when you get super up close, they look a little bit exaggerated. All right, last one in the mix is this guy here. This is probably going to be the best one just because we've had some quality issues, to say the least. 1989 Dodge Ram D350 dually. Just the second time this casting is in dually drivers. It was in Series 13 in silver. Now we get one in blue. There's several more releases coming. There's also a couple of hobby exclusives for LP Diecast Garage, which has a toolbox in the back, which is pretty cool. There's a white one and a black one. Looks pretty cool. The white one you've seen on the channel already. The black one will be coming to the channel soon. I do have that one as well. So we'll take a look at this casting here. Hopefully this one is good to go. Just the regular cab dually. Very, very interesting that it's white wheels. But it works. It works. I think it looks pretty good. Two-tone blue on the model itself. Looks pretty good. You see a little bit of that glue residue. Just comes right off. Not a big deal. Nice details on the front. Prints look pretty good. Does have the grill on there. I'm sorry, the bumper. I have gotten a first gen with no bumper on it before. So Dodge on the hood there. Details on the back looks good. Of course, again, tow hitch in the back. All your details. It says Dodge Ram in the tailgate. The taillights are printed up. They are not lens. They are printed. I think it looks good. Tow hitch is plastic, unfortunately. But it does have one on there, which I think is cool and important. A little bit of a higher sitting chassis ride. So those are some additional axles that are added to the base. The standard one sits just a little bit shorter than this guy here. This guy's just two-wheel drive, though, not four-wheel drive or nothing. 3275 is the number for this one, which looks pretty good. Doesn't look like there's any quality issues. The tires are a little bit off, but looks good. Actually looks like there's a pretty decent scuff on this door. See that? Ah, man. This quality release of this set has been especially bad. I'm especially disappointed in that set because that quality release is really, really bad. This is actually a really, really terrible quality version. The set's nice though. The trucks and everything like that are nice. So there you go. There is Dually Driver Series number 14 from Greenlight. Again, really, really bad quality versions, but actually really, really good models. I think the deco choices are good. Casting choices are good as well. And, hopefully Dually Drivers continues to roll. But if they don't fix this quality problem, we're going to be in some trouble. So we're going to roll out. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Level in. Peace.